The digital nervous system, a smart healthcare body area network. Separate nodes on the human body work in unison to sense and communicate health parameters and actuate medical treatments. Sensor nodes, for example, breathing, sweat, pulse, motion, convert physiological information into digital signals which are wirelessly relayed to a central decision-making base unit, and actuators nodes, exemplified by an implantable drug delivery device, convert digital signals into biochemical fluxes. Data transferred from the body area network to cloud data handling services can be utilized for direct contact with care providers or emergency services, as well as decision-making, analysis, and improved treatment schemes which can be relayed back to the body area network.
Now we're going to read a digital nervous system aiming toward personalized Internet of Things healthcare. Body area networks, bands, cloud computing, and machine learning are platforms that can potentially enable advanced healthcare outside the hospital. By applying distributed sensors and drug delivery devices in our body and connecting to such communication and decision-making technology, a system for remote diagnostics and therapy is achieved with additional auto-regulation capabilities. Notice how it says healthcare outside the hospital. Let's scroll down to the image and read. The digital nervous system, a smart healthcare body area network. Separate nodes on the human body work in unison to sense and communicate health parameters and actuate medical treatments. Sensors, for example, breathing, sweat, pulse, motion, convert physiological information into digital signals, which are wirelessly relayed to a central decision-making base unit. And actuator nodes, exemplified by an implantable drug delivery device, convert digital signals into biochemical fluxes. Data transferred from the body area network to cloud data handling services can be utilized for direct contact with care providers or emergency services, as well as decision-making, analysis, and improved treatment schemes, which can be relayed back to the body area network. The features labeled in black are included in the digital nervous system proof of concept, while grayed out features are meant to illustrate the broader vision for the digital nervous system platform. Here, we see the actuator in the brain for the bioelectric grid delivery. The body area network-based unit that can be activated through a wearable, your breathing and sweat sensor to watch your intestinal fluids with a pulse sensor, which will be on the inside of your body to verify the drug delivery. On the right is a database for decision-making with an artificial intelligence making the decision on when to drug you. All is connected to your medical industrial complex, emergency services, personnel.
Wireless healthcare, also known as precision healthcare, designer drugging, electroceuticals, nanotheranostics, biomedical tissue engineering, regenerative medicine. Wireless drugging is remote healthcare.
Let's take a quick look at this article. Wireless on-demand drug delivery. Wireless on-demand drug delivery systems exploit exogenous stimuli, acoustic waves, electric fields, magnetic fields, and electromagnetic radiation to trigger drug carriers. The approach allows drugs to be delivered with controlled release profiles and minimal off-target effects. Recent advances in electronics and materials engineering have led to the development of sophisticated systems designed for specific applications. Here, we review the development of wireless, on-demand drug delivery systems. We examine the working mechanisms, applications, advantages, and limitations of systems that are triggered by electric fields, magnetic fields, or electromagnetic radiation. We also provide design guidelines for the development of such systems, including key metrics for evaluating the practicality of different smart drug delivery systems. So, after reading the abstract, you can see it says, acoustic waves, electric fields, magnetic fields, and electromagnetic radiation. We just looked at all the industries that are considered wireless healthcare, and nanotheranostics was one of the ones mentioned. So let's take a quick look at it. We're going to Google nanotheranostics, and we're going to click on images. Nanotheranostics is electromagnetic radiation delivering drugs in vivo, in situ, no problem, for AI precision, personalized medicine. Let's click on this article and give it a read. Current update on nano platforms as therapeutic and diagnostic tools. A review for the materials used as nanotheranostics and imaging modalities. In the last decade, the use of nanotheranostics as emerging diagnostic and therapeutic tools for various diseases, especially cancer, is held of great attention. Up to date, several approaches have been employed in order to develop smart nanotheranostics, which combine bioactive targeting on specific tissues as well as diagnostic properties. The nanotheranostics can deliver therapeutic agents by concomitantly monitor the therapy response in real time. Consequently, the possibility of over or underdosing patients is decreased. Various non-invasive imaging techniques, as positron emission tomography, single photon emission computed tomography, magnetic resonance imaging, optical imaging, and ultrasound, have been used to quantitatively monitor the drug delivery process. Radiolabeling of nanomaterials is widely used as powerful diagnostic approach on nuclear medicine imaging. In fact, various radiolabeled nanomaterials have been designed and developed for imaging tumors and other lesions due to their efficient characteristics. Inorganic nanoparticles as gold, silver, silica-based nanomaterials, or organic nanoparticles as polymers, carbon-based nanomaterials, liposomes, have been reported as multifunctional nanotheranostics. Nanotheranostics is a huge industry that they didn't say anything about. Why would that be? Because no one knows that their ass is on the cloud since 1995. Now we're going to Springer Link, and we're going to read. In vivo, wireless brain stimulation via non-invasive and targeted delivery of magnetoelectric nanoparticles. Wireless and precise stimulation of deep brain structures could have important applications to study intact brain circuits and treat neurological disorders. Herein, we report that magnetoelectric nanoparticles, MENS, can be guided to a targeted brain region to stimulate brain activity with a magnetic field.
So in other words, the nanoparticles are going deep into your brain that they get to stimulate wirelessly with a magnetic. So when you do an MRI, you don't wear your jewellery. But you can have someone with a cell phone come up on you with the right type beam steering, and it will blow your brain right apart and out of your ears. They don't want us saying it this way because they only want to show you that they are helping the disabled, but this is a multi-use system. Something that can be used for good can also be used for bad. So if they were going to use it for good, wouldn't they have done that by now?
Now, let's scroll down to the introduction and read. In the last 2 decades, non-invasive brain stimulation techniques have made important contributions to the understanding of brain neurophysiology and treatment of neurological diseases. As we just read, it says, in the last 2 decades. 2 decades. This was written in 2021, so do the math. First, it was written in 2021, 2 decades, which means that in 2001, they had already had this. So when I was 4 years old, they already had this. They were already working with it. And as we just read, the brain stimulation, they can stimulate your brain electromagnetically with little pulses. It's that easy. So when people think that they can't be manipulated or that, they're making their own choices, are you really? Because you're not even going to feel these waves hit you. You're just going to have thoughts, have feelings, have reactions, and not know where they're coming from. But it's brain stimulation since 2001. So,
Another industry is electroceuticals, which is an entire industry where they get to wirelessly drug everyone. If you studied biomedical informatics or you're a biomedical engineer, you know what I'm talking about. They do it non-invasively since 1995. All these biosignals have the ability to give you surgery and change out body parts and regrow limbs with bioelectricity, no surgery required.
Yeah, that was my friend, actually, when she had 80% of her reproduction organs just removed, and they said to her, you'll never be able to have a baby again. And in 6 months, it had grown back.
yeah. So she either did that naturally or she's augmented without knowledge, because a lot of them don't even know they're
She
augmented.
thinks she is augmented, like in her head, like she thinks that she's an experiment.
Well, if
So-
she's gone through like any type of lab experiments, or she knows that she's been in a lab or has memory of any of it, 1000%. And
Yeah.
it's
She
synthetic
has
biology.
dreams, yeah.
It's because they do try to erase what they do to people, specifically people who have been in labs and were experimented all like that, to the point that they're like, okay, I don't feel like I'm human anymore, right?
Yep.
So they try to erase those memories, but like you said, it'll come. Your subconscious mind knows. At the end of the day, it's like my computer. Anything I search on my computer, no matter how hard I delete history or I delete anything, a real hacker can find what I was searching at some point in time. You can never really erase it. And that's the same thing with our DNA. You can't erase our experiences, but they can alter them and try to delete what they can. But at the end of the day, I think we're so powerful creatures that I think our higher selves are just trying to get out and help ourselves as much as we can.
Yeah.
But
And what many people doesn't know about it, because like they see those stories about UFO coming and take them and do some experience. They have barely memory, but they see something. It's a government doing it, and people think there's somebody
and don't get me wrong,
flying
they
from.
see aliens. Like, don't get me wrong, they see synthetic creatures. Like,
Yeah,
they see
because
creatures
it
that
was
don't look human,
man-made.
and they have abilities like telepathy. Like, I've heard so many alien stories where like I froze, I couldn't move. Like, they physically can't move, but they hear someone talking to them telepathically, because these are augmented synthetic entities that are kidnapping you. They work for the same government, same systems, and that's why they put out the whole UFO agenda out there, because they want you to think that you're being they're searching us, they're like, they're experimenting on us. Who's experimenting on you? The same one who built the society that we live in.
There's a lot of factors here negative for them to have that much control inside our bodies.
Of course.
So I don't think about this is great. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to get surgery without, why are you inside my body? Like,
yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like, why are you inside my body with no permission, no warning sign, no nothing. Yeah. They're just inside.
And who are you? Who are you? I don't see you. Like, is this a robot? AI technology literally just, it's crazy. Like, how
They already have a technology when the teeth gonna grow out.
Yeah,
like you have
regrowing teeth.
Yeah, I saw that.
You don't have to go see a dentist; it just regrows in your mouth, like.
Yeah, so
through nanotech, I'm like,
so they're slowly, subconsciously putting it
yes
in our brains
into
already.
the mainstream, yeah.
Yeah.
Within the next few years, it will be the hot topic, like targeted drug delivery. People are gonna love it, because instead of popping 10 Xanaxes, they can just press a button and give you the same dosage of 10 Xanaxes. And a lot of people, unfortunately, because they're unaware, they're uneducated, they only see the positive. They're like, oh, well, we're going to have less sick people. We're going to all be healthy, because if they're monitoring us 24/7, before I have a heart attack, they can prevent it from happening. And this is how they sell it to people. I've actually read it. They're like, before you have a heart attack, we're going to stop it. The fuck you are. I don't think you guys are, because it's like, this has been around for at least the last 2-3 decades. And especially after COVID, after vaccination, how many athletes, how many people had heart attacks? People that you look at their healthy lifestyle, they're athletic, they're fit, they work out every day. Their heart is in a good shape, but they would have strokes because they got the vaccine. When you get the vaccine, you give them access to your cells. So you allow things, like you said, a heart attack, they can induce it with one button.
And one thing I learned in researching during the COVID pandemic was governmente in Latin, govern, control, and mente is minds. So it's basically
Same things.
mind control
Yeah.
with government.
That's what it is.